Record?
No. Yes.
Hello, we are on video number 2. This is Mr. Simmons with his hat on backwards now, because I got to change it a little bit, to do the layout for a pyramid. This can be either for a 5-sided pyramid or a 6-sided pyramid. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to take my piece of paper and I'm going to find the exact center of the paper. One way you can do that is I measure my paper. Again, I'm looking over the top of this always. This is 24 inches. It's actually a hair less than 24. So I'm going to have a spot that's just under 12 inches because that's half of 24. And then I'm going to do the same thing down here, just under 12. And if I just line this up so these marks are right here and here and do something like that, that's halfway across the paper this way. Now I'm going to, this is 18 inches, so half of that is 9 inches. And actually, if I just line this up right on the line that I just made, there's 9 inches. That is the exact center of the paper. Beautiful. Yes? Love it. Okay, so now I actually want to, basically what I'm shooting for is to build this. Okay? When I'm done, it should look like this, and then I can turn it into a thing. So how do I do that? Well, it looks like I do have this line already, so I'm going to make this line go all the way across paper. I'm only using 2 fingers of my pencil. I'm really lightly doing this. I don't want to press too hard. It dents the paper, and it also is really hard to erase if you ever need to erase something. So I have a half circle protractor. We did not work with these too much this year because we left too early. But what I'm going to do is, you can get down in here, Abe, if you want. This is my center, and the way to do this is to put this circle right here over that center, and then this line right here, this line is the 0 line on my protractor, and I can measure 10, 20, 30, 40, all the way up to 90 degrees or all the way to 180. And it goes both ways, so you can measure from either side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pencil right on that dot on the paper, get this in here, and then line up the black line on the protractor with my pencil line. And so that's that right there. Looks good. And then I'm going to measure from this, which is on the 0 line, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I'm going to 60 degrees. Why am I going to 60 degrees? Because a whole circle has 360 degrees, and I need 6 triangles. 360 degrees divided by 6 is 60 degrees. So I can make a line. I'm going to line up with this and those lines right there, and I'm going to draw a pretty long line, again, nice and light, like that. Okay, so this is a 60-degree angle right here. So is this. This one isn't, but now I can find another 60 degrees, right? So, how do I do that? If I did 60, then I can put this back on here, like so. Again, that circle is right over my dot, and my black line is going to be on my pencil line that I just drew, and I'm going to measure 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. There's my 60, and now if I draw this line, if I connect the center of the circle with those 2 dots right there, and I draw this nice and light, then suddenly I have 60 degrees, 60, 60, 60, 60, and 60. Right? Beautiful. Now I have to figure out how big I can make this thing. I've got this one already. This looks like it almost maxed out this thing here. Right? If I do a circle, I could grab a plate, for instance. You can stay right there. Ava, thank you.
Hi, guys.
Alright, did you just say hi to them?
Yes.
Good, that's great. So, like, I've got this plate. I could use a much bigger plate, obviously, and it would be hard to actually find the center, make sure the center plate's in there. So, actually, what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to measure out a certain distance from my center line, and I'm going to do that. I'll look at this one here. That's about 5 inches, because we also need the flaps out there too, right? So pretty much I want something like that, and those guys are 5. So let's measure 5 inches out, and I'm going to do that on every one, 0 to 5, and 0. I'm lining this right up. I'm over the top of it with my head, so I'm not getting any weird measurements. All my measurements need to be accurate, and that means I need to be on top. There's my 5, and I'm going to do 5 inches everywhere. And 5 inches from the center each time. And 5 inches from the center. You could probably make it a little bigger than 5 with this piece of paper that I'm going to get you. And so now I have these dots that are all 5 inches, and I can do this. I can line up that dot right there. See how I kind of put my pencil on it and then move that up next to it? And then I have, so I make that. So yeah, we could definitely go bigger. But I'm going to do this with all of these dots and connect them all. It's kind of fun and looking pretty cool. Notice that I have, oops, I have my fingers on here, but also my palm on here. So, and I'm also right over the top of it with all my strength from my arm. So this is not moving around, nothing's sliding. And if I hold this with 2 fingers, it doesn't wiggle quite as much. Okay, so I need to go around and connect all these dots here. I probably could have made them 6 inches, but I'll do that. And then connect these 2 right here. You kind of got to go back and forth and wiggle a little bit to get it accurate. I know it looks crazy, doesn't it? Looks pretty great. Wait a minute, I'm getting all whacked out.
Yep, you're right on that.
Yep, this is the right one right here. Yeah, with all these other lines on the paper, it's not exactly easy. Okay. Okay, so now these are the sides of my pyramids right here. Some of them will get covered up, right? But I also want these flaps. So these things are going to be flaps right here. Okay, so if you look at this thing again, when I cut this out and I take these and I slide this one under there like that, these guys are all going to come inside like this, and then I will have this cool pentagonal pyramid, right? So I've got to make sure that I don't cut those things off, right? So this is a flap, and 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 that's a flap, and that's a flap. So I want to keep those things, right? So I should have this big star. So all this stuff I can cut away, okay? All this stuff I can get rid of. So I take my scissors and I start cutting. And so I probably don't have to show you this whole thing, and you don't have to watch me cut this whole thing, but you definitely want to be careful when you're cutting. Make sure you line it up. Don't go too fast. Don't overcut. Stay on the lines. I got a little off there. Woohoo! And so when I'm finished cutting this all out, I should have kind of a big star, but I've made sure that all the triangles are the same. But let me show you the last. Sorry, I am going to end up cutting it off for you guys because the folding is important to watch. So this side that you can see right now, of course, is going to be the inside of your pyramid. So you can draw on it and mess up as much as you want, but you always want to be doing light pencil marks anyway because you don't want to dent the paper and have it show through the other side. The camera person is my daughter Ava, who just got her driver's license test passed today.
Yay.
Yes, with an 87. Nice B+ on that. And tomorrow is her 16th birthday, which is also crazy, and I really appreciate her doing an awesome job as camera person at this time. She also, if you want to see some more other amazing production work, she also videotaped the cereal box video. Oh my gosh, she's gonna be world famous as soon as we get the cube done. Okay, now I can sit down. Standing up to do that is really important. I've got this thing. I want to make one slice towards the center, and I'm just going to pick this line right here, and I'm going to slice this towards the center and just make that like that. So now you have this thing, right? Now the key is, and maybe you can kind of come down here again, the key is to do all the folding correctly. In order to do the folding correctly, I actually flip it over, and then I kind of, I don't know, what, you got light? I kind of sneak up on this line right here. I kind of fold this until I start to see that line. I want to fold it right on that line, so I'm not pushing down too much. How am I doing on that?
Good.
That looks like it's pretty good on that line. Once I know that I'm actually folding on that line, then I'm good. And notice that that fold ended up making it perfectly aligned with those things, right? So now I have to go around and do all of those, and most of them are pretty easy. You can notice that I just actually ripped that a little bit right there. So be super careful. I did okay fold on there. Now I'm going to fold this one, and on the pyramid it's kind of, it actually wants to fold right there because of the way I've cut this stuff. So I've got all these folds going in here. You don't have to do any other cuts. So you got, these are the outside, these are the flaps, right? We'll actually cut one of these off because we don't need them all. But, so I got those folded, but now I have to fold on these lines too. This one obviously I don't, but now I'm going to kind of go around and do this, right? And I'm really down here kind of looking to see that pencil line, so that make sure I actually do it on the right spot. So I've got that, and I'm going to fold this one, and everything should line up pretty nicely. That's pretty good right there. And then I'm going to fold this one, right? Guys, don't get too bored on me yet. If I do this right, this should be a mirror image. Look, it's my sailor's hat. I look fantastic. Okay, I got a couple more folds to make. One right there. And once I have all these folded, I got one more to do. It's right here. So I'm being really careful and sneaking up on that fold. Okay, and then I really want to crease them after I've done it. So now I have all these folds, right? And this is the side, this is the inside. So now I'm going to go back and fold them all the other way. Being careful, not too fast. You can make mistakes pretty easily. So I'm going to fold everything the other way. Fold this guy like that, and that guy like that. It's much easier to fold it once you've already folded it the other way. This one folded here, and this one folding there. And now I have this, right? And so what I do is I can slide this one under here like that, and then all these folds come underneath like so, and then you have a pentagonal pyramid. It's called pentagonal because the bottom of it is a pentagon, right? The cool thing about this though is if you want, remember you have to have 5 sides on your box, so you can actually, instead of sliding just one in like this, you can actually slide 1, 2, and then when you do this, you have your standard Egyptian pyramid, right? Pyramids at Giza. So you have that. There's a little too much extra paper in here, so if you're going to do that, you could actually cut off, you could actually take this whole piece right off here because you don't need it. And that is your pyramid layout from a mathematical 2-dimensional net to a 3-dimensional solid, essentially. Okay? If you have any questions about pyramid, text me. Love you. Peace out.